Reba McEntire always said, "He's been my son forever." Even though he was her stepson, she loved him like her own blood. At 70 years old, Reba stood ready to tell a secret she had buried for decades. Back in 1989, she married her manager and became a stepmother to 3 children. But one of them would later become part of a story that shocked Hollywood. For years, rumors spread about what really happened behind closed doors. Then, in August 2025, Reba finally broke her silence and revealed the truth no one expected. What she said about her stepson left fans speechless. Reba McEntire was born on March 28, 1955, in McAlester, Oklahoma. She was the smallest of 4 children, weighing just 5.5 pounds. Her father, Clark McEntire, was a rodeo champion who won world titles in steer roping in 1957, 1958, and 1961. He earned over $50,000 during his career, which would be worth about $400,000 today. Her mother, Jacqueline, once dreamed of becoming a singer. She won local singing contests in the 1940s, but instead of chasing fame, she became a schoolteacher, earning only $75 a month. Reba came from a family of winners. Her grandfather, John Wesley McEntire, had been a steer roping world champion in 1934. Reba was the 3rd child, between her siblings Paik and Susie, and her youngest sister Alice. Together, the 4 children formed a little singing group that performed at rodeos and small-town fairs all over Oklahoma. They lived on an 8,000-acre ranch in a town called Chalky, where life was tough and full of hard work. Reba began doing chores at just 5 years old. Every morning before school, she helped with the animals, gave medicine to cattle, and collected eggs from 200 chickens. The ranch had 500 cows, but since the family couldn't afford a vet, they did everything themselves. Reba's small hands grew strong from wrestling calves and fixing fences. During spring roundups, she worked for 12 hours straight, then stayed up late to do homework by kerosene lamp when the power went out. Her father promised each child $2 a week if they did all their chores correctly. That small reward taught Reba the value of hard work and responsibility. Years later, that same discipline helped her manage a $95 million career. The McEntires didn't just raise cattle, they raised champions. Her grandfather set a record in 1934 by roping a steer in 12.3 seconds, and her father carried on the legacy. He once made $18,000 in a single year, traveling to 47 rodeos across 12 states. To save money, the family slept in their car instead of paying for hotel rooms. During those long road trips, Reba's mother taught the kids to sing harmony. The family car became their first music classroom. By age 8, Reba could sing perfect harmony, and at 11, she was performing on stage. Their first paid show was at a county fair, where they each earned $3. But Reba's father was strict. He never said "I love you," not once. She revealed this in her 1994 autobiography, and fans were shocked. Her father had lost his dad when he was 12, and that pain made him emotionally distant. Her mother, however, was her biggest supporter. She saw talent in Reba early on and drove her to piano lessons every week, even when money was tight. By 11, Reba got her first horse, a quarter horse named Champ, and started training for rodeo competitions. Between the ages of 11 and 21, she competed in 89 rodeos and won nearly $9,000. She also excelled in school, often studying in the back of a truck between events. Her best barrel racing time was 17.22 seconds, which earned her 3rd place at the 1973 Oklahoma State Fair. Reba also loved music. Her parents paid $12 a month for piano lessons and $8 for guitar classes. She practiced guitar for 90 minutes every day and learned 23 songs by heart. By 15, she had memorized over 200 country songs. She started performing in local clubs, earning $25 a night. Those small shows taught her how to connect with an audience, handle money, and be a leader. When she was 19, her big break came unexpectedly. In 1974, she sang the national anthem at the National Finals Rodeo, and country artist Red Steagall happened to hear her. Impressed, he helped her get a meeting with Mercury Records. By 1975, she had signed her first record deal and received a small advance of $25,000. Her first single, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, came out in 1976, but it only reached number 25 on the charts. Her debut album sold poorly, just 5,000 copies in the first year, and the label refused to promote it. They even told her to sound more like Dolly Parton. Frustrated but determined, Reba and her husband, Charlie Battles, packed up their things and moved to Nashville. Life there wasn't easy. Some producers mocked her accent and said she sounded like a goat. For years, her albums sold poorly. In 1979, one of her songs wasn't even played on the radio, no matter how much emotion she put into it. At one point, she cried in a bathroom stall during a recording session. To survive, she worked at a restaurant, earning just $2.13 an hour plus tips, while still performing 200 shows a year. She traveled in an old van that once broke down in a blizzard, forcing her and her band to burn guitar cases for warmth. Her husband Charlie wasn't supportive. He ran a ranch and didn't like that Reba was gone for months touring. He even threatened to burn her guitars if she didn't stop. The marriage lasted 11 years, but it was full of tension. Despite the pain, her hard work finally paid off. By 1982, she began opening for Conway Twitty, and her live album Unlimited gained attention. Then, in 1983, her song Can't Even Get the Blues became her first #1 hit. But behind her success, Reba was struggling with stage fright so bad she would vomit before performing. She eventually conquered it after months of therapy. Her career exploded in 1984 with the album My Kind of Country, which sold over 1 million copies. It even outsold Dolly Parton's album that year, sparking rumors of a rivalry between the two stars. By 1985, Reba was doing over 150 shows a year, earning thousands per night. But while her career soared, her marriage fell apart. She discovered her husband's affair and filed for divorce in 1987 after 11 painful years. The legal battle was bitter and expensive, but she came out on top, keeping full control of her properties and career. The heartbreak fueled her creativity. She released hit after hit, including Whoever's in New England, which sold over 2 million copies. By 1988, she was one of the biggest names in country music, earning millions each year. Behind the fame, though, she battled exhaustion and health problems. Years of touring damaged her voice, and doctors warned her to rest or risk losing it forever. She secretly attended therapy sessions to heal her vocal cords. Even when she lost her voice completely in 1988 and had to cancel shows, she didn't give up. By 1990, Reba McEntire had turned every hardship into strength. From the little girl on a dusty Oklahoma ranch to one of the most powerful women in country music, she had proven she could survive anything: heartbreak, hard work, and even Hollywood gossip. But what she finally revealed decades later, about the stepson she loved like her own, would remind the world that behind every legend is a human being with a heart that never stops loving. Reba McEntire's album Rumor has it sold over 3 million copies, but it was the song Fancy that made the biggest impact. The song told the story of a poor mother who sends her daughter into prostitution so she can survive. Many radio stations refused to play it, and religious groups criticized Reba for promoting immorality. But Reba stood her ground, explaining that the song was about a woman overcoming poverty and finding strength in hard times. The more people tried to silence it, the more famous it became. By 1995, Fancy had played more than 2 million times on radio and became her signature song. Then tragedy struck. On March 16, 1991, a small jet carrying her tour manager and 7 band members crashed near San Diego. They had just finished performing for an IBM event. Reba had planned to fly with them but decided to stay behind with her husband and stylist. The crash killed all 10 people on board. Reba went to the crash site the next morning and saw the wreckage herself. It broke her heart. Just 8 months later, she released For My Broken Heart, an album dedicated to the friends she lost. It debuted at #1 and sold over 4 million copies. Every concert after that became a tribute to her lost band. For years, she suffered from nightmares and survivor's guilt. She later admitted to seeing her friends calling for help in her dreams. The pain behind that album made it one of her most powerful works. In 1994, Reba took another risk, this time in acting. She starred in a made-for-TV movie called Is There Life Out There, based on her 1992 hit song. Over 18 million people watched it, but critics gave it terrible reviews. She lost $2 million in endorsements, and her acting was criticized harshly. Still, she refused to give up. That same determination later landed her roles in movies like Tremors and her hit sitcom Reba. Even as her acting career grew, drama followed her in music. In 1993, she recorded the duet Does He Love You with Linda Davis. The song became a #1 hit and made over $3 million, but behind the scenes, Reba and Linda fought over credit and royalties. Linda wanted equal credit and 50% of the profits, but Reba's team only agreed to give her 25%. Their professional relationship ended, and they never performed together again. By the end of the 1990s, Reba had become a country legend with 13 #1 albums and 41 million copies sold in the US alone. In 1998, she shocked the industry by rejecting a $15 million offer to go pop like Shania Twain. She didn't want to lose her loyal country fans, even though that decision cost her nearly $50 million in potential earnings. Critics admired her integrity, she chose her values over fame. The plane crash in 1991 haunted her for years. Reba later revealed that she had chosen a cheaper charter flight for her band to save $2,000 instead of booking a commercial one. That guilt stayed with her. In 1994, she fired her longtime managers and agent and took full control of her career. Her album It's Your Call came from that dark time, and its songs reflected her pain and determination. From then on, she made sure her tours followed the highest safety standards. Reba married her manager, Narvel Blackstock, in 1989. He already had 3 children, Brandon, Chitty, and Shauna, and Reba treated them like her own. She adopted all 3 and called them her family. Many people thought their marriage was more of a business arrangement, but Reba told Barbara Walters in 1991 that love doesn't follow business rules. Together, they built a $15 million empire, even though rumors of control and tension never stopped. By 1996, Reba's voice failed again. She had to cancel 23 shows, losing $3.2 million. Doctors found nodules on her vocal cords and told her to rest completely. After surgery, she couldn't speak for 6 weeks. Depression hit hard. Her 1997 album What If It's You was a huge success, debuting at #1 and selling 500,000 copies in the first week, but behind the success, she felt lost. Her husband Narvel was the only one who knew she was struggling with suicidal thoughts. What kept her going was her son, Shelby, born in 1990. She said he reminded her why life was still worth living. That same year, the Country Music Awards ignored her completely. Despite a #1 album and 24 past nominations, she didn't receive a single nod. She spoke out publicly, saying, "Apparently, having ovaries disqualifies you." Later, it was revealed that an all-male board had voted her out, even though her scores were high. During the live broadcast, she performed an unapproved medley of her biggest hits and got a standing ovation. Her boldness inspired other women in country music to take a stand, leading to new CMA voting rules by 2000. Reba later won Entertainer of the Year in both 1999 and 2001. On August 14, 1999, disaster hit again. Her tour bus caught fire outside Indianapolis, destroying $1.2 million worth of costumes, props, and personal items, including her famous red dress from the 1993 CMAs. Insurance only covered $800,000, but Reba didn't cancel a single concert. Fellow artists sent her clothes, and within weeks, her duet with Brooks and Dunn hit #1. That fire became another symbol of her strength. She always found a way to rebuild. Reba's film debut came in 1990 with Tremors, a horror comedy about giant underground monsters. She played a gun-loving survivalist named Heather Gummer alongside Kevin Bacon. She earned $100,000 for the role and shocked Hollywood with her natural acting skills. The movie became a cult classic and launched her second career as an actress. In 1991, she starred with Kenny Rogers in The Gambler Returns, but clashed with co-star Burt Reynolds, who tried to cut her lines and told her to stick to singing. Kenny Rogers defended her, and despite the tension, the movie drew over 15 million viewers. Reba walked away stronger, learning how to stand her ground in Hollywood. Not every project went well. She appeared in Rob Reiner's 1994 film North, which flopped and got a 0% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics called it one of the worst movies ever made. Reba considered quitting acting, but encouragement from her co-star Elijah Wood and director Rob Reiner convinced her to keep going. Her persistence paid off. In 1995, she played Annie Oakley in the CBS miniseries Buffalo Girls, earning her first Emmy nomination and newfound respect as an actress. She continued acting in TV movies like Forever Love, 1998, where she drew from her real-life pain to deliver a powerful performance. By the late 1990s, Reba focused more on family-friendly projects. She turned down several high-paying Hollywood offers, including a $1.2 million action movie, choosing instead to develop a sitcom. Reba premiered in 2001 and became one of the WB network's biggest hits, running until 2007 with 126 episodes. Reba earned $100,000 per episode and refused to make the show more risque, insisting that families should be able to watch together. Her decision helped save the struggling network, which earned $50 million a year from the series. In 2001, she also made her Broadway debut in Annie Get Your Gun, performing 218 shows and earning a Tony nomination. Despite an ankle injury, she never missed a performance. Even in her 60s and 70s, Reba kept breaking barriers. She appeared in Young Sheldon as Meemaw from 2020 to 2023, then took a darker turn in Big Sky, Deadly Trails in 2023, where she played a smiling ranch owner hiding a deadly secret. Critics praised her performance as chilling and fearless. In 2021, while filming Christmas in Tune, she caught COVID but kept working, paying $15,000 to vaccinate her entire crew. The movie became Lifetime's highest-rated holiday film of the year. In 2024 and 2025, Reba joined The Voice as a coach, earning $8 million per season. Her strategic and caring coaching style made her a fan favorite, and her team's contestants became some of the most successful in the competition. Later that year, she starred in Happy's Place with Melissa Peterman. The show averaged nearly 7 million viewers per episode and became NBC's biggest comedy hit in years. It reflected her real life after her 2015 divorce from Narvel Blackstock. The split cost her nearly half her $95 million fortune, but it also gave her freedom. She became her own manager and turned into a self-reliant businesswoman. Even after the divorce, she stayed close to Narvel's children. In August 2025, her stepson Brandon Blackstock, who had been married to Kelly Clarkson, passed away from melanoma at just 48. Reba shared a heartfelt tribute, calling him irreplaceable. The family, including Kelly and their kids, stayed close during the difficult time. By September 2025, Reba appeared at the Emmy Awards wearing a black ring. A reporter called Rex Lynn, her longtime friend, her fiancé, and she didn't correct them. They had known each other since 1991 and reconnected during the pandemic. After 2 marriages filled with struggle, Reba finally found happiness again. She said this relationship was about joy, not survival, and for once, it looked like her story was not ending, but just beginning a brand new chapter.